6464 on the Chris Soriano podcast. I always do that where I take my glasses off, but I have the headsets on, so it gets stuck. So I look like one of those. No, never mind. Anyway, so WWE RAW this past Monday received their lowest rating on a non-holiday since 1997. That's right, folks. Raw received a 2.7 rating this past Monday. And it had Brock. It had all these guys. Rollins. What's the deal? They had Cena and Cesaro in what could have been a match of the year candidate. And you get a 2.7. And you know what their big competition was, folks? A Major League Baseball game on ESPN that drew 669,000 people. That was their competition. No NHL playoff game, no NBA playoff game. Why is this happening? Well, for starters, it could be what I've been saying all along. That Raw has to stop being 3 hours. It's killing it. I can't sit there and watch Raw for 3 hours. It's insane. I think that's a big factor. And maybe now, maybe it's starting to finally transpire that now you're going to see the big ratings plummet because people are like, I just can't take 3 hours of this anymore. So that's one. 3 hours, too long. Too long. And the other thing is Cena. Cena. Why do you say that I say Cena? Why do you go like this? Why are you saying Cena? Well, I'll tell you why. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth, those are their big guys right now. That's who they're pushing on TV. And they're going through some growing pains because, let's face it, the television ratings for WWE since Seth has been champion have been subpar. A little less than subpar. It's growing pains. Listen, they're new. They're not really established to a point where they've been around for 5-10 years. Have they found the next Cena? No, they have not. They really have not found that face yet. Cena was the guy. Cena was their modern-day Hulk Hogan, their modern-day Stone Cold. He was the guy. They gave him the torch. He went with it. He gave him the company flag. He went with it. And no matter what reaction he got, Cena drew ratings. Cena got it. Now, Cena is booked where he is never, very rarely closing out the show. Unless he's tag teaming with Roman or Dean. So, this just out of nowhere thing where Roman and Dean and Seth, the new generation, start getting pushed. And NXT start getting pushed. And Cena goes, well, while he's facing an NXT guy, he's kind of just a guy. If that makes any sense. They're not booking him like Cena. And that's what I feel is hurting them in the ratings. That John Cena is not their top guy anymore, and they really never got a new Cena. And this was on them too. Because for the last 5 years, they should have tried to do that. Not constantly, here's Cena, shoved down the throat. No. But that they had their one focus was on John Cena. That was it. Everyone else, don't give an F what they are. It's Cena, 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 Cena. It's a push business, Williams. Push, push, push. If you're a Twilight Zone fan, you just got that reference and you're pissing your pants right now. But I don't think that the WWE did a right job, a good job, a decent job in preparing for life after Cena, at least for the time being, where once Cena stopped being the main event guy, they had something. It's not resonating. Yeah, the crowds pop big, but the TV numbers aren't there. Or maybe it's not Dean or Roman or Seth. Maybe it's the fact that Raw is 3 hours. Maybe no one can stand listening to the announce teams. Maybe it's little things like that. But I do think that the 3 hours is too long. It's too long. It's too long. And listen, ratings are down for the Yes Network this year for Yankee games. Why? Because Derek Jeter's not there for the first time since '95. Why are WWE's numbers down? Maybe because Cena's not the top guy. People hated it. It wasn't good on WWE's part of pushing him when he didn't need to be pushed and constantly giving him the spotlight. But now you're seeing that they just took him out of the main event picture and your numbers are down by a lot. A 2.7 for Raw on a non-holiday Monday is horrible. Horrible. That's a 2001 January WCW Nitro rating. That's not good. And this report coming in from Dave Meltzer that Vince is going to try and shake things up. What can he possibly do other than maybe bring the brand extension back? Maybe actually disband. That's another thing. Maybe it all comes to my head now. I'm talking and then stuff just pops in my head. That's the ADD, ADHD in me. Maybe this authority storyline is just run its course. Look at what happened with NWO. When that started getting stale, WCW's numbers went down. Well, guess what? They can make Rollins the champ and push him as the next guy, the next heel, the next great heel. But this authority storyline, it's just got to go. It's run its course. So how can Vince get that Raw number up? How can he get the TV numbers up? You got to disband the authority. You have to cut Raw from 3 hours to 2. Have to. Have to. And to me, that's it. I don't know about putting Cena back in the main event picture, but maybe have Cena maybe do a job to a guy like Dean or a guy like Roman. Have him put a good match. I mean, the match against Cesaro was amazing. Only problem was the show got a 2.7. I don't know what the rating for that match was. I don't know. The exact rating for Cesaro versus Cena. I don't know that. But I know one thing. The show itself bombed with a 2.7. And that's not good at all. And we've seen nights after pay-per-views, nights before pay-per-views, the numbers aren't good. It's consistently not working out with these TV numbers. So something has to give here. I think you cut Raw from 3 hours to 2. Disband the authority. To me, I would bring the brand extension back. So then you have Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Boom, you have 3 brands now. They'll work. Talk next about Obama and how he is spinning his own little web of lies. And speaking of web of lies, Hillary Clinton. How repulsive can she get? Well, we'll talk about that. And Donald Trump, is he being treated unfairly? More after this on the Soriano podcast from the studios down in Broadway and Wall Street.